Today's guest once showed up to her boyfriend's internship interview and ended up getting the internship herself. And while working at WMMR, she was arguably set up in an arranged marriage by none other than radio legend John DeBella. She may be named Taylor, but she looks like Sabrina Carpenter. She's the founder of Taylor Brooke Media, a social media and influencer consultancy, and the host of Taylor, the podcast. You're going to love hearing about her recent wedding, her how hard can it be approach to work, and how her creative career continues to evolve. Let's get into it. This is A Second Helping with Allison Bartow.
Hello, I'm so excited to be on the pod. I'm a big fan.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start with your wedding. So What were the highs? What was the vibe? Where did it all happen? How did it come together?
Okay, so we got married at the DuPont Country Club in Wilmington, Delaware. We looked 5 or 6 venues, I think, until we were like, okay, we're certain this is it. And that was the last one we toured. We were like, okay, we're sold. The wedding was in July. I really wanted it to be in the summer. I hate cold, anything cold. I'm like, it's just not my vibe. It has to be warm out. But of course, like once you get engaged and then you look at summer months, you're like, oh, nobody's available for 18 years unless we want to pay like our whole life savings. So we ended up just like lucking out, getting a date on a Saturday in July the following year from like when we got engaged.
Okay.
And yeah, it was the best.
Oh, that's good. So your engagement lasted about a year?
Yeah, about a year.
How was the whole planning process?
It was great. You know, a lot of people say like, get a wedding planner and like have someone take the stress off you. And yeah, I agree with them 1000% because my mom and I were buried in work. It was insane. Like it was a full like second job. Like once I got home from my full-time job.
It's a lot. What was something from the day that really stuck with you emotionally?
Ooh, something emotional from the day. I think my mom, my sister, and I got to have like a moment, like when we were all getting ready, where like my sister was tying my shoes and like my mom was helping me with my dress, and my mom was like just there taking pictures, and like it was crazy to see like 3 generations of us, and like it was so special.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I like when people have those like beautiful moments during getting ready and it's not just hectic and frantic. So that's nice that you have that.
Yeah. And trust me, it was hectic and like very frantic, but because I had like a billion bridesmaids, which looking back, I don't think I would do that. Like I'm in a different space, but oh my God, it was nutty and all day. And you know, you're a part of the experience. Like it's all day.
Yeah. It's a long day. So how many people did you have in your wedding party?
I think it was like 8. I think I had 8. Yeah, it's a lot. And bachelorette parties and bridal showers. And it's like, oh my God, I feel like everyone from the wedding was already like celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool though. It's nice to have all of your friends and family there. So was there, in all of your planning, was there anything you obsessed over that ended up not mattering?
Yes. What my love language is like gift giving. Like I was so excited to have a wedding favor, and we toyed around with like so many different ideas. My husband and I, we met in radio, so we were like, okay, has to be something like music related. We decided on that. We got guitar picks that had our initials carved into them with the wedding date. And the day of the wedding, I just forgot to take them out of my bag. I never took them out of my bag, never handed them to like the lady on site. And now we have 18,000 guitar picks.
That happens a lot because there's just so much going on. I was at a wedding one time and at the end of the night, like right as it ended, like lights started to come up and the venue people were helping to clear things out. And I saw them lift up this tablecloth and pull things out from under the table and there was signage that never got put out. It had just been under the table all night. And I thought people were like going back and forth with that and designing it and paying for it. And yeah, it happens because it's such a blur that, you know, so. Oh my
gosh. Whole day is everyone said it would be. And I was like, no, like I'm like cool and confident with this. Like it's going to be fine. No, like I hardly remember what was going on.
It goes fast. So based on that, any advice you'd give someone who's currently planning their wedding?
Let people do things. Like, I feel like I was very, I'm going to say controlling, but like everything had to be a certain way and it doesn't matter. Like on the day of, like, I didn't care. It was actually forecasted to be like completely sunny. Right before I walked down the aisle, it started to like sprinkle. And I was like, we're still doing this. Like, we are going out on this golf course. We are getting married. Like, I don't care if it starts thunderstorming. At least the photos will be like kind of sick. So I was like, let's just go. And it doesn't matter.
So when you got married, was it still just sprinkling a little bit or?
A little, it kind of stopped. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but the photos were still cool. Like, it was like kind
That's
of
good.
like moody.
Yeah. And summer storms can be crazy. So that's good.
Yeah.
It worked out. It's outdoor weddings are tough because you've got to worry about the guests and, you know, are they too hot? Is it too cold? Is it too windy? And yeah. And sometimes it's like, it's 20 minutes. How long was your ceremony?
20 minutes, if that, probably.
I find that when it's an indoor ceremony, the time always goes over. And if it's an outdoor ceremony, it's always shorter.
No,
So,
that's totally true. Because everyone's like either you're right, too hot, too cold, or like they're just like itching to like get out of the sun or the rain.
yeah. And I think in churches, they just run longer.
Yeah,
And when it's outside, I feel like the officiant tends to go like a little bit quicker and there isn't as much sometimes to
Yeah.
it. So I think it's nice.
yeah.
So, all right. Do you feel like your creative eye made it harder or easier to plan everything?
Harder because I'm very critical. So like of my like work in general, I'm definitely my toughest critic. So when we were going over every wedding detail that there was to go over, I was and this is also like a key part of my wedding that I don't think I mentioned. I had all these Easter eggs of Taylor Swift things involved in my wedding. So like the table names, they were all different Taylor Swift songs, but they were like very obscure, so it wasn't over the top. And like it's just a lot of time. Like
Hmm.
I was a DJ like for God so much of my professional career. Where when we hired our DJ, I was just and this oh my God, it's awful to say, but like I was like I'm just like I'm not impressed. I need to do this myself. Like I need to pick my own playlist, and so I basically did. So we paid someone to play the playlist that like I created. But like I was like I can't the vibes can't be ruined. The transitions need to be perfect. Like if someone comes up and requests something, like no, if it's not vetted, it's not happening. Like
Was the DJ then easy to work with? He understood or she understood?
yeah, he understood. He honestly probably was more of a guest than a DJ. I don't think he did much on it. Like he was just vibing. Like
Yeah. Well, and hey, as long as it went the way that you wanted it to, but it is true when you've got that creative eye because you notice every little detail. And it's funny because when people aren't, they just don't see things that we see. So I always have to remember like it doesn't bother them because they're not noticing it. So
oh,
yeah.
my sister-in-law, she's not the creative, and she just got married. And her wedding it was beautiful, and everything was tied in perfectly. And I was like, how did you do this? Like, you don't really care. And she's like, my sister. I was like, I knew there was a creative that was like behind all of this because it's too perfect.
Yeah, and just stuff that wasn't important for her. I had a wedding a couple summers ago and we were on like the trolley down in the city going around and I heard one of the bridesmaids ask the bride, "What are your centerpieces like?" And the bride, so sweet, she goes, "I don't know. I'm so excited to see them." And someone was like, "What?" And she goes, "No, my grandma picked them all out." And I used to own a flower shop. So I'm like
Oh my
hyper
god!
hypercritical of flowers and like so picky. And I was like, what does this mean? Her grandma picked him out. And I was like, this might not be good. And it was the ballroom at the Bend and it was gorgeous. Grandma did it. She knocked it out of the park.
Blew
But
through.
I've never heard a bridesmaid say, "Oh, I'm excited to see them too." I've got no idea what they look like.
That is
So
insane.
yeah,
Oh my god! I wish I were that chill.
I know, right? Yeah, I can't imagine being like, "Oh, I'll see when I get there." So tell me about your wedding photos. So what drew you to the photographer that you chose?
So, as a creative, I was very critical of who I was, working with in general. And actually, my one of our very close friends, Nate and I, Nate's my husband, her name is Lauren Gibson. I'll give her like a little shout out. She's incredible, and I loved her engagement photos that she took of me and my husband, and we did it at a bunch of different bars and restaurants in the city of Philadelphia. Then kind of street photos, and they're moody, but she's a friend. Like, you can't ask a friend to work your wedding, Like, so I was like, no, I want her to like have a good time. Ironically, we found it's funny that her name's Lauren. We found this other woman from Dearly Beloved, and a friend of mine named Lauren recommended me to this photographer. Her name was Lauren too, and
Wow.
ended up being like the same kind of like vibe of photos and like very moody and artistic. Like it wasn't taken too seriously. I didn't want us to be like posed dramatically where like, it wasn't us. Like I wanted the fun shots, like the behind the scenes of like me and my friends and my family and my mom and like just having those like sweet candid moments versus, we're all gonna, pose.
That's how I prefer to shoot. I
Yeah.
just feel like the memories then are, I don't know if the memories are more authentic, but
Yeah.
just I feel like you're enjoying the day and I like capturing that moment and those
Oh yeah.
feelings versus, and some people to each their own, they have in their head like this Pinterest list of different post photos, but it's hard because you're taking someone out of the moment to go,
Yep.
hey, stand over here and jump around in your PJs with your girls because we have to get this photo and then go back to, so yeah, but
It's a lot.
yeah. So what did you love most about how your day was captured? Was it that approach?
Yeah, it was definitely the approach. I didn't even really notice them like taking video and taking photos. It was kind of like everyone was part of the squad. So it just felt like my girls and guys were just taking photos and videos themselves too, and like everybody's being silly. I'm as a content creator, my friends are very much so like involved in the creative space, so they were not going to let anything go undocumented. So I think
Yeah.
it just made it feel so authentic. Like, and all of our families, like they're used to us. Like being silly and like being over the top. So like everyone was just in a good mood.
Having a good time. That's great. So tell me about your photo video team. How many photographers did you have? It sounds like you had videographers too.
Yes, I think we had two photographers and one videographer.
Okay.
I think that was the setup. Honestly, I can't quite remember. There's so many people involved, but I think it was two and one. And yeah, I love the photos, and you know what? I haven't shared like most of them online, which is crazy because I've kept it so like secret almost, like just like kind of us and the people that were there. But I have shared a couple. And as for the wedding video, I think I've only watched it like three times. I thought I was gonna replay it for the rest of my life forever and ever and ever and like never watch anything again. But then you're like, wait, I was there.
That's true. But I think too, like as you get older, or
Yeah.
maybe when you guys have kids, if you have kids,
Maybe
to be able to look back at that.
Mhm.
But it's interesting because we are in a different time. Like you said, all your girls and your friends and everybody were taking pictures and content the whole day too, because that is the world that we live in. And so, yeah, it's funny. And then you also have the instant content. So, which actually brings me to something that we haven't talked about at all. Do you have any thoughts on content creation? Because it's a little bit of a hot button topic in the photography community
Oh.
because people are getting hired now as wedding content creators.
Yes. Hmm.
So I don't know if you've delved into that or like heard about it too much or if you have any thoughts on it.
So yes, I've thoughts on everything, by the way. So like, but I think as someone who like I have Taylor Brook Media, I am a content creator. The focus of Taylor Brook Media is marketing, social media marketing, and public relations. So what comes under those three branches, those umbrellas of things, are you need content and you need professional editing and you need someone who knows how to not just use Photoshop but use Premiere and other like platforms like that. And it's not a one person job. I think like what people confuse is like I would never walk into a client like a say a hair salon and say, you know what? It's just me and I'm gonna run everything for you and you should pay me all this money so just you have me on your support team. So if I get hit by a bus, like good luck. Like you're not gonna have a team behind you. That's how I would think it would be for a wedding. Like I I can't do it all. I can go and take, a bunch of videos and, edit, stitch some things together and everything, but I'm not a professional videographer. So I outsource. Like I have a team for that and I think that's important when you're like going about it. I don't think I would like just hire your local influencer to come to your wedding and like capture content, you know? And I think that would be a hot button thing for me to say and something unfavorable in the influencer's face for me to say right now, but I stick to that.
All right. Yeah. It's interesting. And it's when you dive into wedding content creators, there are so many different types of wedding content creators, like what they do. And so, like, some are just capturing like raw content. Some are actually, they've got an assignment of like how many clips they need to edit and turn over within 24 hours. And then there are some that are actually fascinating to me that are content creators that are like doing a takeover. So they go on like the bride or groom's phone and like they're posting throughout the day. And from what I've seen, those tend to be people with really big following, like a lot of followers. So someone's like posting on their behalf. But to your point, I think things should be left to the experts. But I feel like you can have a photographer, you can have a videographer. And I think that there is a place for wedding content creators if everyone knows what they're there to do, because I don't think a wedding content creator most of them could come in and replace a photographer or a videographer. I don't think I could replace a videographer. I don't know how to, edit like that. So, and it's like the videographers, like you have this beautiful final, video of your wedding that's like cinematic and beautiful and properly lit and just all of, whatever they do with the transitions and all of that and the music. And a content creator, a lot of it is the quick turnaround and it's the snippets and it's like a little bit more raw, even when it's edited. So I feel like they're not going to go away.
No, I don't foresee this going away either. It's so interesting that, like, as you're saying this, my mind is unraveling the whole intricacies of it. And it's so interesting to me that like a wedding went from the concept of like just getting married and loving each other to like this is a marketing campaign. Like
it can be wild sometimes. Yeah, I always love when you see someone who's like trying to get like paid sponsors for things that are like, sponsoring the whole wedding. I'm like, can you imagine like just reaching out to all these different people and having your whole wedding just sponsored?
oh my God, it was a topic I think on the Real Housewives of New York, like the new season. I don't know if you're into Bravo, but they talk about. And so when they did the guest Jenna Lyons, I think it was her that did the guest list, not guest list, but the invite to like some party, and it was like sponsored by so and so.
At the very bottom,
so yes,
it called out, whether it was like the liquor sponsors or like like all that, and I was like, oh yeah, they gave her a heart. Was it Erin that did that?
Oh, Erin did it. Yes,
was it Erin? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I always just default to Jenna Lyons because she's my favorite.
Oh yeah, she is my favorite too. She's
so cool.
She's not sponsoring stuff; she's selling her closet. So
God love her. God love her.
I know, I love her. Yeah, her dental bill. She's like, these teeth are so expensive, so it cracks me up. But yeah, so the wedding content creation is really interesting. So there is, I think, a place for it, but I think wedding content creators have to be careful because when they come in and say like, don't pay all this money for a videographer, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're not replacing. And also like you can create really great content with our phones, but like it also doesn't replace a lot of the gear that professionals have. So
absolutely not.
Like you said, there are experts for different things. Being on the other side of the camera for your wedding, did that change how you see any of your visual storytelling in your work?
I don't know if it exactly like changed anything. I think maybe I just have a broader idea of things, I guess now. I don't know. I don't think so.
What about your husband? How did he feel about the photo? Like you guys did an engagement session. Mm-hmm. Did you find that doing the engagement session, I don't know how much he gets his picture taken normally, like something, but like, did you find that doing the engagement session made it easier on the wedding day for the posed portraits that you had?
I think so. I think so we had like an engagement session with original Lauren, OG Lauren, and then we had another engagement shoot with new Lauren.
Oh.
And then, so just to like get new Lauren's vibe, of like, she was like cool. And like, she came with like a belt strap that was a speaker. So like we would have music because we like took all these pictures in these antique cars in the middle of woods in Westchester, and it was so cool. Like every photo shoot had a vibe. But yeah, I think like just getting to know her and knowing that like, okay, we're gonna be silly and we're gonna be weird, and she's gonna be down for it. Like she's not gonna be judgy. That was the only thing I was worried about. Like I just wanted like every circle that like I was in at the wedding to be just like welcoming and kind and like familial. And she passed the vibe check.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
so my husband was like, oh, whatever, we're cool.
Yeah, it can be weird when you're meeting someone for the first time and it's your wedding day. It can
Yeah.
be tricky
I didn't
sometimes.
want to do that with anybody that came to my wedding. And of course there were stragglers. But like ugh, I was like so set on that. Like I'm not meeting anybody on my wedding day.
So, all right, quick question about the music. So, did she ask you ahead of time about like what music you like so that she would be playing music that you guys like? Did she play what she liked or did she kind of find out on the spot?
She had like a vibe, like playlist, like it was like what's trending or something, and she's like, "What are you into?" And I was like, "Honestly, whatever you're playing is kind of cool." So it just fit.
It just worked.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
That's great. So now, and on your wedding day, she did have a second shooter, right?
yeah. She did. Yep.
Okay. So, and typically most people don't meet their second shooters. The photographers met the second shooter. Most bride and grooms or couples haven't met their second shooter until the wedding day. Did
Yep.
you know who your second shooter was going to be?
I didn't know. So I actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I met my makeup guy and my and the second shooter that same day, and he was awesome too. He was very silly. Like we want to do this idea of like running down the hallway, and like I was wearing Crocs at the end of my wedding because I love Crocs. I don't care what people say about them. Crocs, Birkenstocks, like they can be ugly, but I'm into it. So I put on my wedding Crocs, and I was like, I want to have this like dramatic scene of just running down the entranceway of the DuPont Country Club, and just like busting through the doors. And the second shooter was like, "This is a video moment, but I'm here for the vibe, and like, let me help you make this amazing." I was like, okay, this is cool. Like halfway through the ceremony, you're just like, or a reception, you're just down to hang out. Yeah, let's do it. And
Oh,
it was
that's
cool having someone that
good.
like knew what was obviously coordinated with his team, but like was down to help, which was just awesome.
That's what you want. You want someone that's, as a second shooter, especially that's like, because they're not the main photographer,
Mhm.
but you need someone who's like happy to be there, dialed in, and knows how to keep everybody happy and be a
Yep,
part of the team. So that's awesome. That's great.
it was
I
so
love to hear
cool.
that. Um, all right. So let's shift gears a little bit. I want to hear a little bit more about your work
Sure.
and some of the magic behind Taylor Brook Media.
Yeah, sure. So Taylor Frick Media kind of came out of I was in radio for so long. I transitioned out of radio into a corporate job, and I'm not one to be put in a box. So when like I'm put in restrictions of legal and like just things like that, it like gives me the ick. I don't love that. I was like, I want to do something where I know that what I'm doing is making this like difference in a small business, or like even if it is a national client and it's something that I feel passionate about, like I have the flexibility and the allowance to choose who I work with and when I work with them. And I think that's a key component to my happiness and to like a lot of like entrepreneurs' happiness and why they do the things that like you and I do like for work. Like we have that mindset. So Taylor Brick Media consists of social media marketing and public relations, a lot of grassroots and outreach and campaigns and things like that. And then a segment of Taylor Brook Media is the Taylor Show podcast, which is vastly different from my semi-professional life at Taylor Brook Media. I think it's like an opportunity for me to be a little unhinged and tap into that radio side that I
Mm-hmm.
really fully get to finish, I'll say.
Yeah. Now, backing up, how did you get into radio?
Oh Lord. So I went to I went to a very small college. It's called Immaculata University.
Okay. I grew up in Malvern
Oh my
and I
God,
live in
you got
Westchester
it.
now. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel so seen. Nobody knows what I'm talking about ever, I feel like. And it's not that far. It's like 20 minutes from me. But so I went to Immaculata University. I was a junior. I had a boyfriend at the time who was in marketing and he was looking for an internship. And I was about to graduate a year early because I was an education major. And I didn't I don't want to say I didn't love teaching because I do like teaching. I think I was just uncomfortable, like with don't know, kids maybe? I don't know, but it
It's
wasn't for
hard and
me.
it's a lot. So,
It
yeah.
was nutty. So I was like, and then I was also like, oh my goodness, I'm young, I think, and I'm graduating early. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna go into the workforce? Like, I still live with mom and dad. I'm like, how is this? Like, what is happening? So, I kind of panicked, and my boyfriend at the time was like, I need an internship. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, you should work in radio. That would be cool. And he was like, yeah, maybe. I was like, here's an email. Like, let's send it out. Like, get your resume out there. So we got an interview. And like a day before the interview, he was like, yeah, I'm not going. And I was like, what? This is so cool. It's an interview for 102.9 WMGK. It's a rock station. Like, classic rock is so cool. And you're not going to take an opportunity like this? I was like, no. So I was like, just don't cancel it. So I walked into the offices of 102.9, and I was met by a lovely person I will forever, with my career, be indebted to him, Sean Burke. He was the promotions director, and he looked across the table from me and he was like, why would I hire you as my intern? Like, genuinely, tell me, like, what are you doing here? Your name is not so and so. You're a little blonde girl. We were not expecting that. We were expecting some man from Immaculata, not you. And you're gonna be a teacher. Like, what? And so I was like, I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. Like, I grew up on classic music. I was named after James Taylor. Like, play anything on the station. I will tell you about it. And I said, if you give me a week, if you freaking hate me, that's fine. You can tell me and like I'll get out of here, but give me a week to show you that I'm like kind of cool and you'll like me. And he was like, I got nothing to lose. And so that's the beginning of everything.
I love that. You showed up for somebody else's internship interview.
Yeah. That's
And
how
you
I
got
got
it.
all of my jobs in radio. I think it was just because I you probably get this in your field. I don't want to speak for you, but it's a very male dominated field in the media industry, and when you walk into something that a woman has never walked into, a job or a role that someone hasn't said, what is she doing here, it's very hard to be taken seriously, so you have to just start showing up, or they have no idea that you like actually want to be there, I guess.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
experience, at least.
That's well, and the funny thing was when I saw that, because I used to work at WMMR, and so it was so funny because it's like you don't run into a lot of people anymore that have worked in radio. So
You don't.
I was on the advertising sales side, not on the other side of the mic. So it was just so funny though, because I have really good memories of that time, and the people I worked with were really nice, and so it was
Oh, were
great. But
you there like Preston and your PNS era, right? Like Preston and Steve, you're still there?
yes, yeah. So it was like early 2000s.
Oh my gosh, so cool. Such a cool time to work there. Oh, we probably know so many people in common.
Yeah, probably because it ended up being like a small world. Like you didn't realize until you got into the industry, and it
Yeah.
even well, maybe more on the advertising sales side, how people kind of move around and went from station to station. But yeah, it was a really interesting time. So how many years did you spend in radio then?
A long time. So I interned for promotions for I think like maybe 6 months. And there was a day where the morning show intern at 102.9 was sick. And on my first day on the job, I'll back up just like a little bit as a promo intern. I ran into this man with a mustache in the hallway. His name is John DeBella. He said, let me show you my studio. And before he opened the door, he said, your husband's behind that door. And it was the morning show intern. And it was my husband, it was Nate. And he
Oh
had
my,
told Nate the same thing before I came in. And so we ended up getting married. But the side note to that is when I saw, Nate was sick, I was like, okay, uh, I'm gonna be Nate for a day and just like see how it works. They let me in the studio. It was amazing. When Nate's internship was coming to an end, I was like, I want this role. Like, I want to be on the morning show. Like, I'll get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. Like, put me in. And they were like, yeah, no. I was like, are you kidding me? And they were like, absolutely not. Like, it's just not for you. And there was a lot of trepidation and there was like a lot of apprehension and nervousness that I think it honestly revolved around that they didn't know if I'd be funny or not. Like if I would like go along with the jokes.
yeah,
And
I get it.
I just started showing up. It was like a couple days after Christmas, like after New Year's. And I was like, you know what? I know the schedule. Like at least like I have some friends and like that are, being interns, so at least I know that they didn't hire one and no one's gonna show up like right before the semester. So I just started showing up and then I started working under Kevin Gunn. I don't know if you remember
I remember,
Kevin.
yeah.
Yeah, Gunnar is one of my favorite humans. He taught me everything I know about production, and I got into that realm. And I was like, maybe I can be a show host. Like maybe I can do commercials. And so I started doing a lot of voiceover work and getting into that realm. And now John is actually I say my two best friends in life are my mom and John DeBella. And it's really
Oh,
funny how like life worked out that way. But
yeah.
he introduced
And
me to my husband.
how long had Nate been interning there before you got there?
Oh God, like maybe 3, 4 months.
Okay. Why did John DeBella know that you guys were going to get married when he had just met you?
No idea. We asked him this and he was like, I caught just a feeling. And we were
You have
like,
to ask, has he said this to anybody else?
no, we're like, it's at our wedding. He was like, this is amazing. Or you know what? No, Kevin Gunner and his wife were introduced by John as well, I think.
Oh, okay.
And they
So
were
that's the
interns.
opposite of what I was thinking it was going to be like, oh, John DeBella says this to everybody.
Yeah,
But no, so he also said it to Kevin Gunn and his wife who got married. So
I
that's
think
amazing.
so. Yeah, or I don't
Oh,
think
no.
he said it to them, but they met through
They
him.
met through. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. Look at him. What a matchmaker.
so crazy. Like,
Amazing.
wouldn't have guessed that.
No. Oh my God. Just hustling away. So now when you kind of, did you phase out? Did you go, you went to corporate America then?
Yeah, so I had my own show on WSTW, so 93.7 with Forever Media Group. I loved it. The hours were 7 to midnight. I got to be myself. I got to do a segment called Toxic Hour. I had amazing coworkers. I had the best bosses. But at the end of the day, I was starving for money and really didn't want to work until midnight. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm gonna do something that will pay me a lot more, and they're gonna understand because I'm like this just out of college kid. And then I needed to see what corporate America was like. I needed to see like a different version of the world than just media.
Yeah. It's different. So what was your role then when you went into corporate America?
So international social media specialist. So I got to work overseas, creating and designing graphics and running campaigns, and it was awesome. People I worked with, amazing. Had nothing bad to say. It just wasn't the landscape for me.
Okay, but how did you get that job? Had you been doing anything like that?
Yeah, so I started
Okay.
actually with the DeBella show. I started running social media. It's like, let's do social. Do you guys should hire me as a social media manager? And honestly, it was very funny. I just changed my job title on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I said I'm social media manager of the John DeBella Show and of WMGK. And their program director called me into his office, and he was like, "Nobody gave you that role." And I said, "Nobody has to give me that role. I can put whatever I want on social media." And he's like, "But everybody thinks that that's what you are." And I was like, "Here we are." So like I'm not really asking you for anything. That's all I want is like recognition. And then they were like, okay, and they changed my title and all of that. So then I just kind of fell into this.
Oh my, okay. So that's how you got dipped your toes into that and got into
Yeah.
that world. So that's how you got that experience. And then, because international social media is, a big thing. That's not normally like an entry level position for someone who's never done it. So, and it was
No,
a great
no.
experience, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was great. I loved getting to work with different markets, and I think if circumstances were different, I think I would have been able to travel a little bit more, which would have been even more incredible. But yeah, just getting to work on a global scale is so cool, and like just getting to hear ideas. Like now, I'm going through like copy and such, and organizing things, and I'm noticing like I'm going through and editing, but I'm editing in like English UK. So like I'm like organized is spelled incorrectly, and they're like, no, it's spelled with a Z, Taylor. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm thinking European. This is not my audience right now. So it's a hard mindset to like switch out of, but
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you did that for a while. Did you take any other jobs in any other corporate environments, or was it from there that you transitioned to Taylor Brook Media?
from there I transitioned to Taylor Brick Media. I didn't take any like full time jobs in between. I've done every job. I think I've dipped my toes in everything. I used to try to sell excavators. like the building equipment. I did a podcast on cryptocurrency for a while. Like if you if you ask me something, I've probably done it. I've been at car dealerships. Like I'll hawk anything, you know.
Okay, so you sales as well. So you have the sales experience. I
Oh
love it.
God, yeah. I mean, I would not consider myself a great salesperson, but if the deal's already done, then yes, I'm having fun with it.
Well, that's great. So tell me a little bit about your current clients. Who are you working with? Like what fields are you in? I know that sounds like you have a hair salon, you have a med spa that I know you work with.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's I say I specialize in like the unique and honestly kind of offbeat. Like walking into a place where things feel different is so important to me. One of my clients, I'm gonna shout them out. They're Boro Gelato and Cafe in Wilmington, Delaware. They recently opened. Growing up, my sister she has celiac disease, so she can't eat gluten. So I think I ate gluten free for like 8 years living at home, and she also has a nut allergy. So growing up, like finding places for her to eat was like difficult, and like especially in the early 2000s where things weren't like crazily accessible. My mom was ordering candy bars from Canada because they had different laws and like restrictions on what can be processed where.
Oh, wow.
So walking into Boro for the first time, the owner, Colin, he was explaining to me, hey, this is all fresh made in our kitchen. Our kitchen is completely sterile from this. Like, we don't use nuts here. Nothing is made with wheat on this side. Like, I have no cross contamination. There are all these gelatos that are completely gluten free, which is like, I don't know, for like a kid that like didn't grow up with that, my sister was like, what? I can like go out for ice cream with my boyfriend?
Yeah,
Like,
and have like more than one choice, you know?
exactly. And have like a
Yeah.
full menu of things that like you
Aw.
can have and confidently know that you're not gonna have to like go and use your EpiPen.
Yeah.
Like, so that sold me right there. And I was like, I have to be a part of this somehow. And I was like, oh, I'll be a barista if they want me to. I love this. Like, I'm totally down, signed, sealed, delivered. So I look for just people that stand out to me like that. I've said no to clients that I get a weird vibe from. My dad and my mom, they're both business owners as well. So I usually like make one of them tag along to a lot of things, and I'll be like, just pretend you're not my dad, okay? But like, I think I'm getting a weird vibe, and like, I just want you to come with me and like see. And he'll be like, okay, yeah, you shouldn't do this, or oh yeah, they're okay. T, you're good.
That's smart because there are strange things that happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. So, how do you help a client elevate their brand while still sounding like themselves?
So it's all about what they want out of it. So I tell all my clients, like, if you're not happy, I'm not happy. If there's not an ROI and we're not making money, then that's like, it's a we thing. It's not just a you thing. Like, you're not paying me to lose money or not have some increase in revenue. So we need to address that first. Let's address what your goals are. Are you looking to be a Duolingo? Like, what social accounts do you follow? Are you trying to be like Duncan, like funny and witty? Are you trying to be like corporate and serious and you want people to like get across this message? Like, kids are dying, like, you know, like spend money. Like, what is your outcome of this? And tell me what your inspos are. Like, what do you want to get done? I have clients that aren't creative at all and they're like, I don't know, Taylor. What do you think? I'm like, okay, like let's spend some time together. Like, let's go get a coffee. Like, let's go to a happy hour. Like, what is your environment? Like, let's get comfortable and like I can get to know you before I'm producing content that like I don't know if you're gonna love. I also tell my clients and future clients, I say, if I say anything or create copy and create a graphic or something, and you're like, oh, Taylor is so nice, but this is awful and I hate it. And like, I hate orange and I never want to use orange again. Like, please tell me that. I would rather you tell me that. It's like going home with a bad haircut. Like, let's not put it out there. Like, don't be afraid to hurt my feelings or apologize. Like, this is what the field is for.
Yeah, and it's not personal, it's business, and you're
Exactly.
trying to get your footing and find out what they like and what resonates. And sometimes people don't know how to verbalize that until they see something and then they can say, "Well, I know that I don't like this."
Exactly. Yup.
So, actually, speaking of orange and things that people don't like, that just made me think of, did you hear of last year, because you're obviously dialed into social media, the Sepia Gate controversy with the bride and her wedding photos?
I don't think so.
So it was sepia is like a treatment where it's like not an orange filter, but it was like a way that you, and so that it gives like when it's edited like an aged look sort of. And so the bride had picked a photographer that had that style. And then when she got her photos, she hated them and she made this big stink on social media. And it just became this huge thing because she knew what the photographer edited like. And so it just like everyone was chiming in. It was this big deal, but it was just really interesting. And then recently, did you see the bride who got her makeup done and then washed all of her makeup off?
Yes.
So what were your thoughts on that?
Oh, okay, so this may be controversial, but if I don't like my makeup or my hair, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not going anywhere. Not doing anything. Nope. I will call you and cancel last minute. I'm just not like oof. It was bad to post it on social media. Whoever let her post it, or whoever posted it on her behalf should be, escalated. Get out of the friend group. Nope. Your case is done. Goodbye. But like, that wasn't tasteful putting it on socials. But I understand if you don't like it.
And that was the hard part though, because she didn't tell the makeup artist she didn't like it. And they asked her like, do you like it? Are you happy? And she was like, yeah. And then they left. And then she propped up her phone and said like, this is going to be big on like social media, and then proceeded to wash all of her makeup off. So that's one of those situations where it's like, speak up if you're not happy so that someone can fix it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, perfect example. I was actually getting my makeup done for Fashion Week, and the girls were like, okay, like, do we want to do something a little bold? And I was like, yeah, let's be bold. And then like they started putting on the eyeshadow, and I was like, yep, nope, that's too bold. Actually, I can't get on the train like that, man. And she was like, okay, I'm so glad. Okay, now we established like the foundation of what we want, what we don't want. So no,
bold for Fashion Week could be crazy.
Oh my God. And I didn't even make it there, so it doesn't even matter. Like I was running late for the train, and there was a thunderstorm, and the train left like 5 minutes early because of the thunderstorm. So I was like running. My husband and I were like running in the rain to Wilmington train station. Like, this is ridiculous.
I think that was on your podcast, right?
It was on my podcast. Yep. Yeah. I went to my parents' house and I was like, you guys will sit here and I will do a fashion show for you. Okay.
With your makeup.
Yeah.
With your not too bold makeup.
With my not too bold makeup.
Oh my God. So tell me about your podcast, because I've listened to it. I love it. It's funny. What made you said you wanted like a creative outlet where you can be as unhinged as you want. So tell me a little bit more about like how long you were thinking about it, like what went into getting it ready, and just, your experience so far.
Yeah. So first off, I would love to have you on the podcast. So we have to book you on there. I feel like we could talk about Bravo for an hour. Yeah. And it'd be fine. My inspiration for it, when I was a kid, I had this thing called a flip cam. Do you remember those? They were like pink or purple or blue. And then it was a video camera. And then they had this little like USB port that stuck out, and you could just plug it right into your laptop. Okay. And I had this flip cam, and I had to be like maybe 9 or 10. And I'd bring it with me everywhere, and I would say, "This is a Taylor show. Hi, I'm interviewing so and so," and the camera would be on them for 2 seconds, and then I'd be like, "It's about me again. Here I'm back." Like, just obnoxious. And you look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe my sister tolerated me. What was this? But I was making just kind of jokes about it, and I thought, I could actually do this. Like, I could do a Taylor show podcast, actually. And I have a bunch of friends who love to name drop, and gossip is fun. And let's just sit down and shit talk for an hour and change and have a good time. And and it kind of started from there. And my mom was instrumental in like kind of helping me craft the brand too, of like, who are you? What do you want to talk about? Like, we should, brainstorm this. So she was great to work off of. My husband, I call him the producer, like he edits and produces a lot with me. So he's always in the background chiming things in, or, trying to help me book different guests. And
so it's like a whole family affair.
It is. It's a whole family affair. We like to do that, I guess. I'm noticing a trend here. I guess I like that.
Oh, that's awesome. And so now you met Nate at the radio station. Mm-hmm. What does he do now? Where did he end up work-wise?
He is not in entertainment right now. He actually works for a medical simulation company. So he markets. So he's still a marketer. He's a marketing manager where these are like devices that they use similar to like Grey's Anatomy, and like they're doing like a tracheostomy or like blood work. It's just like the fake practice
Oh, wow.
parts. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Very strange, very weird. I didn't know how he got into this, but when he did, we were like, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
So he loves it.
Oh, that's interesting. All right. And then he pseudo produces your podcast now too on the side.
Yeah, he loves it. Like we just have so much fun. I'm like, we have to like do a podcast episode together because we've never like we've always been on competing morning shows. He was on B101, I was on the Bella.
Oh,
When
that's
I
funny.
worked at night, he worked down at iHeart and he worked at night. So like all of our shifts were always simultaneous. Weekends, simultaneous. So it'd be nice to like sit in the same room with headphones on and be like, so ever people can hear us at the same time now.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So far, I know that that's a goal to have him on. Have you had any favorite moments or anything happen on the podcast yet that kind of jumps out at you?
Ooh, so what do you think? So I've only had David's on, which is funny as of this point. So my best friend David, uh, and then Dave Cruz, who worked in radio for a hot long time. Um, and I think my favorite moments are just catching people off guard. Like it's very fun to have your friends to kind of check you because we have these conversations in private. And when you're in front of there's six lights and there's three cameras and then there's a little Gabe in the corner who's making sure that the audio is okay, and little Gabe is like 20 years old and he's like blushing every time we use a curse word and like apologizing, and it's just a different environment. It's just like very fun to see how far I can kind of push that comedic line too,
Yeah.
and how far I can get without people like trying to put out cease and desist letters.
Right.
Like I'm trying to name drop until I get hit with a legal fee.
Yeah. It's good to have goals. And the thing too,
Right.
like you said, is it's just you and your sense of humor and what you want to talk about and your brand versus, the rest of the time you're working with other people's brands and their voices and all of that. So that's great. That's awesome. So as far as your last year of marriage, almost a year, not a year yet. What's
Well, no,
been
it's actually I think we're coming up on
two
yeah, so it'll be two.
2 years. So what's been the best part of being married so far?
Best part of being married. I'd say just getting to start like our I wouldn't say like life together because that's so corny, but getting to start like something new that's Taylor and Nate. Like we have two dogs. We have Dr. Callie Torres, we have Grey's Anatomy, and then we just adopted another dog, and her name is Kenzie. And so we're always like gallivanting as like a little family, and I love it. And it's so funny. There's a video of me probably from 2 years before Nate and I even started dating. And I was like out with some girlfriends and I was laughing and I was like, I just want to date Nate. Like, I wonder if we'll ever date. And just like seeing that pop up in my memories, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm living the dream. Like, this is awesome. We have a house, we have dogs. Like, this is great.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. That's beautiful. Oh.
Yeah.
So, well, switching gears from that, for all of our listeners, your experience, your expertise, what would you say is a good tip or like a great best practice when it comes to like social media?
Ooh, social
Or
media.
like, like where do people miss, or like what's one thing that you kind of wish you could kind of just maybe shake people and be like, hey, make sure you at least do this.
Don't take yourself too seriously. I think if I took anything, I like when you texted me earlier and you were like, "Oh, are you Grammy nominated?" Haha. It was, oh my god. Okay, yes. Like in on the joke. We're all laughing here. Like I don't have a Grammy. Like be authentic as like if you're a serious person. Okay, totally get it. Like Nate and I have a friend and he's like very serious on social media, and it's like I had a great day. Period. It was awesome. Period. Thanks! Exclamation point. And we're like, okay, but that's how you talk in real life, so we get it. But I think just like staying authentic to you and who you and your brand is. And when it's like try hard, like I just like get the ick. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it when it's like an emoji, but it's just an old school emoji caption. And then there's like a song in the background, but it's like Zed from 2019. And you're like, are they going through something? Like, what am I supposed to gather from this? Why is this on your story too? Like, I don't get it. Like, what your vision is.
Yeah. And I think too, for small business owners, the trying too hard part is that it's like they've got their regular job when they're running their business and doing all this. And then it's like, oh, and now I also have to do social media. And I think I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to post X amount of times per day. Mm-hmm. And so it's like formulated and they're just, yeah. So
it's a pain. I couldn't imagine just not being in the field and running a full business and doing the social media too. That's insane.
Yeah. So what is a dream project or client that you have on your vision board or?
Oof. Unwell is always a dream. The Unwell Network, that's Alex Cooper's. For those listening that don't know, I think she would be just so cool to work with in some capacity. I'm also, I don't know who else would be, like comedy. I think I would like veer towards the comedy realm. I could do some comedy clubs or something. That would be a definite cool client because I'm not as close to that sphere as I used to be. So it'd be nice to like dip my toes there.
Thank you so much. This has been great. I love it. It was
awesome.
A lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so tell us a little bit more, Taylor Brooke Media, but where can people find you and all the different places?
Amazing. Yeah, you can find me www.taylorbrookemedia.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at Taylor. There's 4 underscores, Brooke. I'll come right up, I think. And then all of my socials are linked there. My podcast, The Taylor Show, is on YouTube under that name and on Spotify. So we do like 2 episodes a month so far, but if we get a sponsorship here, then, which will probably never happen with the way my podcast is run. But if we ever do, it'll be more than 2 episodes a month.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. I've really loved talking to you. Thank you.
Me too. I'm such a fan. This is awesome. I can't wait to listen.
I know.
Well, it was great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to A Second Helping. Please like and subscribe.